Hey, it's Pat with this week's recap of America's Next Top Model. We are on the third episode of All Stars. Can you believe it? No Carolyn with me tonight, unfortunately. She was flying back from California, and I believe she's currently in Washington, D.C. or somewhere. So she regrets to say that she cannot join us this week, but I told her that she's still in the running towards becoming America's Next Top Model, except my phone auto-corrected it to rubbing, so that was fun. Let's talk about this week's episode, shall we? It was very interesting. Again, this cycle is all about branding the All-Stars, not necessarily about models. And one of their prizes is to be a special correspondent for Extra, the entertainment news show that's on every night. So their very first challenge was to go meet Mario Lopez, who is the host of Extra, and do a little interview with him, which at first I was like, okay, how's this going to go? But it turns out there's 12 girls left, but they didn't all necessarily get to do their own interview. The girls were broken into two teams of 6. So because Bianca and Lisa were the best photos from last week, they got to be the team leaders. They each picked a team. I forget who was on each team. I'm not going to tell you. You probably watched the show. So they went up as a team, and Mario kind of interviewed them. Lisa, obviously, you know Lisa. She has a big personality, so she sort of took over her group, and she got in trouble a little bit from Nigel, who was leading the challenge, saying he was kind of jumping in on other people's questions and high-fiving at inappropriate times, so she got in a little bit of a naughty spot for that one. Also, Anjali got some criticism because she wasn't unleashing her full flavor when it came time to answering the questions, and Nigel really thought that it was time to let her personality shine during those interviews and not keep herself like she was in a professional interview, which was weird. She has so much flavor. Unleash it. Yeah, so that was that. And on the winning side of the team, there were really good interviews from Allison, who did a good job fielding a question about how she doesn't necessarily want to be a model and what that means, like why she is doing Top Model if she didn't want to be a model. And a couple other girls had good questions too. Okay, who cares? So the winning team was Bianca's team. It was, I'm not going to remember this off the top of my head, but it was Bianca and Brie and Allison and Dominique and Camille. Okay, I think it was just them. And the overall winner of the whole thing was Allison. They thought that she did the best job, so she won. She's clearly all of your guys' favorites, so I'm not surprised that she won that one, which could be good because when Carolyn and I did the first recap, we were saying, like, who do you think's going to win? And I said, I think Allison would win, but one of the prizes is to be a correspondent on Extra, and I don't know if she would be really good at that, and she did a great job. So, Allison, you may be on your way to being the winner. Who knows? In the photo shoot, they kept the team concept, but they were in teams of 2, and a member of the losing interview team was paired up with a winner from the winning team, and they modeled in duos. Right? Okay. But they were on stilts, which when I first heard they were going to model on stilts, I thought that was, I'm like, ugh, they're going to be on stilts. Like, this is going to be really stupid. But I actually think that the photos were very cool. They were sort of styled in all black, like, onesies and had, like, spiky, like, it's kind of like an American Apparel ad on stilts, if you will. And some of the girls were really sort of feeling the stilts, and some of them just kind of had no idea what to do. Bianca was terrified of the stilts, and I know she's scared of heights in Cycle 9. She didn't want to do the big, like, crouching tiger stunt thing, but like, Bianca, those stilts were not that high. And I know you watch these videos because you tweeted at me. So, hi, Bianca, they were not that high. But she went and cried in the bathroom and got it out of her system, and she did okay. Who are the pairs? Do we even care? Thanks for listening, guys. It's boring to talk to myself while I do this, so I'm just pretending you're agreeing with me. Bianca and Lisa were a pair. Shannon and Alexandria were a pair. Camille and Isis. Kayla and Dominique, Anjali and Allison, and Brie and Laura. I did a good job. Okay. Who did good? Alexandria was a drama queen. She kept falling on purpose, I think, for the shot, and then she'd be like, "Ah!" And then she would say, I really like it. No, that was last week. Yeah, I don't know. The photos were really cool at the end. If you didn't see them yet, there's a link down here in the description so you can click and see them. I enjoyed them. I thought they were very good photos. Unfortunately, I think the idea that, oh, I didn't even tell you this. The winning team at the extra challenge got immunity. So that means that only 6 girls were up for elimination. So, okay, sorry, that was probably a big factor you should have known about. So when it came time to judge their photos, it was sort of not fair because really the girls who had immunity were the girls who had the worst photos, but unfortunately it was only the losing team girls that could be eliminated, which did not bode well for some of them. I don't even care. Just look at the pictures. They were cool. When it came time for panel, Allison got the first picture. Her first call out. She's doing very well for herself, which I think all of us assumed that she would. The bottom two. So the whole time when I knew it was the only people that could be eliminated were, looking at my list again, Kayla. No, not Kayla. Dominique, Isis, Alexandria, Lisa, Isis, and Anjali. So it was like, who, I might have messed that up, don't correct me. I really had no idea who was going to go home. Now, Anjali, if we're going by edit, Anjali was getting a lot of screen time, and she had a little speech at the beginning of the show, which I was very worried that the 716, hello, hi, was going to go home. And Isis was getting a pretty strong edit as well, and the bottom two were Anjali and Isis, so I thought, oh, Tyra likes Isis too much, and Anjali gave that speech to Nigel, so I think Anjali's going to go home. But wait, she didn't go home. She got saved. And Isis got eliminated, which I thought was very surprising, and I don't think she would have got eliminated had they not done the team immunity kind of thing. That's what I think. I'm kind of surprised. I think she'll do well for herself. I didn't think that Isis was going to win at all, but I'm kind of surprised she went home now. But again, they're all stars. Like, they're all good and they're all interesting characters, except for Shannon, who Mr. J was like, oh, are you comfortable with that outfit, Shannon? It doesn't look too much like underwear. Okay, I'm just checking. I really like that he did that because that was mean and funny. Yeah, so that's this week's recap. Hooray. I would love to know what you guys thought of the photo shoot. The extra challenge was sort of like whatever. But what did you think of the shoot? And what do you think about Isis being sent home and them doing the team immunity thing? I didn't like it at all. So I'd love to know what you thought. So leave some comments. I'll read them and I'll try to reply to them. If you want to see the photos, you can click the link down here in the description or go to try to type that in. It's ablogaboutthings.com. And leave your comments on there, and I will see you next week. Oh, also, quick side note, go to the blog, read the story. Andre Leon Talley is not going to be a judge for Cycle 18. He's out, and Kelly Cutrone, who you might remember from Kel on Earth on Bravo, or The City with Whitney Port, she is going to be on the panel, and she's mean and so honest, and I'm really excited. Read that story, leave some comments, say hi, and I'll see you next week. Okay, bye.